Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie, followed that up, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers up in the scoring, up in Tawdry, 12 minutes of the match remaining.
What a sneak.
A stunner from Kenny Miller, rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at Rangers Radio Online.
He's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he going to let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Novo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening is the one and only Bridgeman and Rudy Bear. How we doing, gentlemen?
Hi, Ox. Hi, Bridge.
Hi, guys. Can I just say a big good evening to you guys in the panel and to the guys in the lobby? A big good evening. And to all the Rangers fans all over the world, a huge good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio on Valentine's Day.
Oh, Valentine's Day. You get any cards, Rudy?
Oh, I did. I certainly did. I got a lovely card for Mrs. Rudy. A wee bear in the front of it with a blue nose, and it said on it, "To my wee blue-nosed bear." So I was chuffed with that. I was happy with that one.
Have you read that? Sure, it was just Bear. It said there wasn't a dough in front of that.
I'll not tell you what she wrote inside it. You know, I think before the watershed. You know, so I'm not telling you.
Love it.
Oh, well, we'll see you in 2 minutes, Rudy, when you're finished, all right? How are you, Bridge?
Excellent, pal. Excellent. Much like Rudy, I got a lovely card from my wife. And I'm not going to tell you what she wrote in it, but it was very pleasant stuff anyway. Very pleasant stuff, so I'm very happy.
I've been known to tell lies, these women.
We're just waiting on you telling us yours.
Oh, no. You don't want to know about me, mate.
You mean did the millionaires
No.
Send
I'll say it once a minute that you don't want to know about me.
Oh dear. I hope all the guys in the lobby can tell us if they got cards and who they sent cards to.
Fox got a few today. Fox got a few. I know that for a fact, mate. A few today. And he's got RSI, mate. All Fox has.
RSI.
We're at Tinder. He was up for 12 hours swiping. Swiping him was for 12 hours.
Spoke to all your messages on it.
See, he's no denying the 12 hours swiping with Rudy, is he?
You noticed that? He's maybe burned his phone out. Maybe he's wore it out.
Battery needs charging. I'm waiting on Club Deck giving us an update on the situation at the Koh-i-Noor as to whether young Ibrox Loyal has actually arrived there and what he's having for his dinner.
I'm understanding, mate, there was some paparazzi there.
Oh, Club Deck's a paparazzi. He's a paparazzi man. He knows about these things. Mind you, maybe he's just said, "Back to hell with him away. I'm no bothered."
Ibrox Loyal, what a man, eh? What a man.
He's not hanging about much, is he? He's getting his sell out there. Good on him. Fair play to him, that's what I say.
Alan 63 says, "I get 2 cards. Angela's mad." Nice one, Alan. Nice
that
one.
old trick, send yourself
Absolutely.
a card now.
I love it.
Yeah, I think
Skipper says Ibrox Loyal got a dizzy. Oh, Skip, that's cruel.
Oh dear.
Oh my God, what a place.
Ibrox Loyal got a dizzy. No, a dizzy. I've not heard that for a long time.
Oh, it's a long time, isn't it?
Oh dear. Anyway, we move back to Rangers. We're going to look at our new contract signing. I think it's a bit of good news for some people. I mean, people have got different views on James Tavernier. For me, he's been in my top 3 performers this season, so positive for the club. And if he does move on, obviously the terms will be different, and he's on a different length of contract, so everything's good business for the club, Rudy Berra.
Aye, definitely. As you say, he's certainly been in the top 3 performers this season for us. You know, like I said the other night, when he's on his game ox and he's flying up that wing, he's probably one of the best in the league at what he does. You know, I know he's a bit suspect defending wise, but that seems to be a modern thing, though, doesn't it, with fullbacks? You know, it's kind of modern football. It's changed a bit. The fullback role is they like them to get forward much more, you know. And Tavernier on his game is excellent at getting the ball into the box and scoring as well. Like the goal he scored against Thistle, for instance, it was a cracker. You know, he had to sort of dig it out a wee bit, but it was a well taken goal. It was a cracker. So he can score goals. I think did you know in the Championship, did you know come close to about 15 or
something like that, mate?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
You know, for a fullback to score that amount of goals. I mean, I remember one season, particularly when Barry Ferguson was at Rangers, he scored 15 goals for the midfield and everybody was raving about it, you know. So for James Tavernier to get sort of around about that mark for playing at the right back position is fantastic. I know it was in the Championship, but he's not shy of scoring a goal or two, James Tavernier. So aye, great bit of business by the club, as you say. If he moves on in a season or two, then he's still under contract. You know, we can hopefully get a bit of money for him. But hopefully he stays for the duration. I hope he does anyway.
All right, James Tavernier, 126 games, 124 starts, 23 goals, 2 penalties, and 17 yellow cards. Obviously 10 league goals in the Championship over the full season. League goals, we're not talking about league goals there. A total of 15, you're right, Rudy, that whole season. And he's got a total of 23. But at the moment, he's got 5 in the league so far this season. So if he gets another couple, he's getting close to that season where we thought he was unbelievable, obviously at a higher level, Bridgeman. Eh?
Well, I personally don't expect him to reach double figures in the league. His game slightly changed a wee bit. He's not quite as, I dare say the last couple of games he has been quite up there. But I think he's a bit more, shall we say, reticent about going forward and getting lost. He used to get lost and never get back and things like that, cost us goals. So he doesn't go quite as far. He's not quite as adventurous as he's been before. But whatever he's doing very well. He's got a lot of assists, maybe 5 or 6 assists, I believe, this season so far. So well done. He used to be our main free kick taker. And that seemed to die off a wee bit last season. He wasn't so good at it. That's where he got a lot of his goals at free kicks. But seriously,
his first game, Easter Road, when he walked up and scored that free kick, you thought,
absolutely.
What have we got here?
Absolutely, a marvellous free kick taker, and all the we were talking about young Cummings and his arrogance and that, and Tavernier was showing that bit of arrogance. He plays very well. He plays more of an attacking type role as a fullback. He's not got the great defensive capabilities of a Bobby Shearer or Eric Caldo, but the truth of the matter is that he's a very, very effective player going forward and causes a lot of damage for Rangers. He sets up a lot of good passes. I'm
not being rude when I say this, Bridge, but is it the modern game, mate? Do we expect too much out of these fullbacks? Do we expect them to be up at one box?
Well, I think we mentioned last night there's a young lad over across the road, the boy who's playing at left back, and he's reputed to be one of the top fullbacks, not just left back, but top fullbacks in the United Kingdom. So my personal opinion is Tavernier is probably on an equal to him. We haven't had quite as skillful a team overall as they've had. We're starting to build on that now, so that might make a difference to Tavernier's game. The better the players he's playing beside, the better the player becomes. That kind of thing has an effect.
Tavernier can do his murdered him in the last game at Park Field.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what I mean. He's supposed to be one of the top players, and he gets praised wherever. Sometimes it isn't necessary, but they just praise him because he's with them. So I think Tavernier. Rudy said it. He's one of the better fullbacks, certainly at the present moment, one of the better fullbacks in Scotland. Maybe even down to not to Premier League level down there, but maybe for the Championship down, he would probably be able to hold his place all the way down there. I don't know if he would ever be able to play at the level of the Premier League down there, but he could do. I can't doubt it. So I'm really happy he signed. I think it gives the club a good chance because there may be a time when somebody comes calling. If he keeps improving the way he's improving, they'll always come out and buy him. Always come up and buy fullbacks.
I think for him to play in the Premier League down there, Bridge, I think that's a huge step up.
So absolutely, that's what I'm saying. He's got a bit to go. He might never make that. He might be a Championship type fullback, and that's all there is to it. Yeah. When I played down in England, and I went in trials for a couple of wee sides down there. I was down at Workington Town, and was trialing there. I've always been impressed with English fullbacks. I always love to watch them play. They really are good, fast and hard, Leeds United, a couple of really cracking fullbacks. The England team that won the World Cup, cracking fullbacks. Cohen and Wilson, really hard boys, So I love that. I like the way they play.
I think,
were Cohen and Wilson as good as McGrain and Jardine?
Yeah, probably, because they weren't World Cup winners.
I'm just asking you,
No, I'm saying that. I think they were absolutely fantastic fullbacks. One of the best I've ever seen, and it's only my opinion, of course, is a boy who's had a really hard time of late. Is that boy Kenny Sampson? Oh, what a fullback I was! My God, what brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Good player. Rudy, carry on, mate. Sorry for interrupting.
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned Daniel Candace there. I think Candace has been a huge factor in Tav playing so well, because the two of them seem to have developed this partnership that's great at times to watch, the two of them just seem to, understand each other really well. Daniel Candace is good at getting back and helping Tav out when needed and stuff like that. We haven't really had that in the life until Jamie Murphy.
If it's no me, it's Titan, and it's no Rudy. Who is it? Carry on, Rudy.
And I think Candace has been a huge factor this season in Tav playing so well, developed a great partnership there on the right, and we haven't had that on the left. Hopefully with Jamie Murphy, we will get that. That'll come between him and DJ as well. Certainly Murphy being here has added, being on that left side, has added a bit sort of balance the team up a wee bit better. It looks a wee bit more kind of stable for me on the left hand side, which it hasn't done for the first part of the season. But Candace for me would be one of the names in my team sheet every week, because I just think him and Tav play so well together, And when the two of them are on the game, they're almost unplayable. The two of them, teams struggle against them when they play really well, But fair play to Tav getting a 3.5-year deal. It's a cracking deal for him and his family as well,
Aye, it's a stability, and obviously I would imagine some kind of wage rise, because they signed when we were in the Championship.
That's right, aye, that's right. I'm sure he's got a bit, and he's got a wee wage rise there, and I'm quite sure Mrs. Tavernier will be happy about that as well, wouldn't she?
I might not have told her, but you better be quiet.
What, we were speaking a wee bit earlier as to the guys that Warburton brought in, and Tavernier being one of them. If you look at the ones that Warburton brought in, and unfortunately they just weren't good enough. That boy Kiernan, the Crooks. So there's been quite a few that he's brought in, and they just never quite made it. I would say it's maybe about 50-50. So half the guys he brought in, they've done very well with the Rangers, both for the Rangers and at Rangers. And I'm really pleased for Tavernier and for the club. I think the club have done very well out of this, getting a real good quality fullback. Providing he keeps going the way he's going and improving, it'd be just amazing. Just amazing.
Aye, well, people want to join us, give us a view on James Tavernier and their Rangers Limited. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or they can join us at Skype at rangersradio.online, where Fox will bring you into the show. Well, he's busy answering all his letters at the moment.
He's right. I think he's rewriting the cards as well, to be honest.
He said to me this afternoon, I get 2 red cards. He says, I recognise one I write, and then I thought, that was the one I sent myself.
I was listening to that Bridgman about his trial down in England there. I know what kind of trials they were.
Somebody asked me that in the lobby, and I've just come out and said it. In all honesty, I was found not guilty, and I was released very quickly. So it's not
result, Bridge, result.
Subtle, Fox, subtle. Fox, are you pleased that, we've got you, we'll drag you away from Tinder, is positive news, James Tavernier, for you?
Of course it is, mate. Especially the way he's played this season. In fact, the way he's played since he started, mate, he's been a good buy for us right for the start, I think.
How much did we buy him for?
He came in a deal, did he, for
200 grand.
200 grand, aye.
Yeah.
So the way we're saying, we've got over 200 grand's worth, I would think, And he's probably valued to be probably somewhere over 3 million now, mate. As you say, I don't think he'll ever progress as good enough to play in the Premier League, but maybe top-end championship for him if he ever decides to leave us, and we'll get a good price for him, mate.
Yeah, anyway, we've enjoyed with a caller. I think it's Big Ulster who's sneaking in, mate. He must be finished. The romancing. How are we doing, big man?
Hi, Ulster.
Oh, I'm doing well. Hello, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day, Ulster.
Thank you. Same to you, mate.
All the lassies, they start getting all the cards and that, mate. You need to put up with all that. All the floors arriving at the door.
It'll be even worse if they don't get any. Oh, no.
They get a card off me, that's all they need.
Oh. You happy with the James Tavernier signing?
Yeah. Very happy, guys. I think I know we were talking about this yesterday. It was rumoured, but it's fantastic that it's actually done and over the line. And I think that bodes well for the future. I think, as I say, we're talking about maybe rumours that he was maybe thinking of maybe making a move somewhere else. I don't think he was too happy where Pedro and things was there. Just don't think many of the players maybe were too happy and they were maybe thinking about their futures, but it shows you the difference with the quality we've signed, that maybe players like Tavernier think that there's good things, maybe big things coming to Rangers, and that's where they need to see their future. So maybe, hopefully, like Tavernier thinks that over these 3.5 years that he's signed, that there could be some success for him, which would be fantastic for us and him. So I'm very happy.
All right. Well, I think it's only fair, Fox, that we hear from James. See what he's got to say on his new deal. So if you don't mind, lads, go on mute and let's hear from James Tavernier.
How happy are you to sign your new deal?
Delighted. So obviously it's been a good season so far. So, and to get obviously a conversation going with Mark and the gaffer, it's obviously great to get it over the line.
There's been talk about you signing a new contract for quite a while now. So why did now feel like the right time for you to sign a deal?
It was obviously just down to the club. In the end of the day, I was comfortable and I knew that I had 18 months left, and I was playing well, and I think it was just maybe a reward of my performances that I've been doing.
Is this a lot to do with having unfinished business at the club as well? As you say, 18 months left on your deal, there's still a lot you want to achieve at the club.
Yeah, definitely. Like just in Jimmy's kit room, and we're having a little bit of a joke, and you obviously see all the pictures that he's got of all the squads with all the trophies, and that's what I want to be doing at Rangers. I want to be winning trophies, I want to be winning leagues, and that's why I came here. And I want to obviously write the next chapter into the history of into the club.
Does this now feel like an interesting time for the club, an exciting time? Is it quite a nice time to be signing this kind of deal?
Yeah, definitely. The squad that we've got, I'm really excited about. We've got good numbers in the squad. We've got great quality in the squad, and the performances lately have been good. So I'm really excited for obviously the second part of the season, and obviously the seasons to come.
What do you want to achieve in the next 3.5 years?
I want to win the league. I want to, if we can go for the treble, I want to win the treble. I want to aim high. I want to be playing in the Champions League. So this club's got the capability of doing that. It's got the fans behind us all the way, and it's down to the players and to push really hard to get to that point.
Did you see this club as you kind of, not your only option, but the one where you could achieve what you wanted to achieve in the game?
obviously when I first came, it was Mark Warburton obviously gave us a great foundation to start my trade again and to find my feet again, just to have that consistency of football. Now I've done that, and you know, it's been up and down for us, but it's been a great learning curve, and I feel that only my best football's still to come. So it's been good.
I was going to say, when you came, you were 23. You played for 9 different clubs, is that right?
Yes.
Things have like massively changed though, haven't they? You've now been here for 3 years, and does it feel like a lot's changed in your life? There's a lot more stability now?
Yeah, stability is the key. What you've said there. It's, you know, I'm so comfortable living in Glasgow, my family are, and obviously it's a great feeling to obviously walk out into Ibrox on a match day and have all your 50,000 fans behind you singing. So it's a place where I've not wanted to leave. I've always loved being here, and obviously loved wearing the shirt, and I just want to win stuff now.
You mentioned that you've got a young family. Does this feel like Glasgow is now home?
Yeah, definitely. When my daughter's picking up words and speaking a bit Scottish,
Scottish accent.
She's got some words that she comes out with. So I try and tell her not to say it, but she's coming out of it now. So yeah, I think it's one of those things I've just got to get used to, because I knew deep down that I wanted to stay here longer, and because I did say that I've got unfinished business, which I do. So yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You just need to accept that your children are going to be Scottish.
Yeah, accept it. Yeah.
You walked out as captain for the first time at the weekend. You've been given more of a responsibility this season. Do you feel a more mature player this season? Yeah,
definitely. You know, I've always been a vocal player on and off the pitch. You'll always hear us. In a good way or a bad way, you'll still always hear us. But it was obviously such an honour for me and the family, and obviously my close friends to get that captaincy, and to obviously captain the side against Ayr. And you know, when I first came here, it was always something maybe I possibly wanted to do, is be a captain of the Rangers. What a great honour that would be. So you know, it's obviously I've had the chance to do that, and the gaffers give us a great responsibility in the team, so I'm just going to keep going. The sense of pride you felt captaining Rangers, did that kind of hammer home to you that this was a club that you felt a big part of? Yeah, definitely. You know, it's something. It did feel right at home. Yeah, obviously I'm on social media, and you know, I'm having a lot of great response from the fans. So you know, it's all working. It's all going in the right direction. It did feel right at the time. It was perfect, and you know, everything's gone really good for us lately. And obviously, there's new deals, tip of the cake, and there's only more to come. This will keep you here till you're 29, in theory. Would you like to be Rangers captain in that time? Do you think that's an achievable aim? If the skip's still here, the skip's still here. But no, if you'll have to see what happens. I'd love to be the captain of this club. You know, it's obviously a great responsibility, but I think I've grown into a player that can obviously take the pressure onto his shoulders now and move on. But I have to wait for Skiff on that one. How much of an impact's Graeme Murty made on you? Because you're having a very good season this season, and he's obviously a former fullback. He actually just said that I think you find it just quite annoying that he's a former fullback, because he gets on you a little bit more, doesn't he? He gets on us a little bit more, yeah. But he's been absolutely tremendous since he's came in. He's given us that control that I needed, the freedom that I've needed in certain parts of the games, and obviously he's coached us in different parts of the game. So it's worked out really well on a one-on-one situation, you know, and he's brought out a real good game in us, and I'm enjoying playing underneath him. So it's only been good so far, and I obviously can't wait for more games to come. And reflecting on your last 3 years at Rangers, what's been the best moment so far at Rangers? Signing this new contract, and knowing that I'll be here for another 3.5 years is obviously something that I've really worked hard for, and obviously really want to do. And obviously I want to win these trophies that I keep on talking about. So it's something that I'll be working hard to achieve.
Oh, thanks for that, Fox. Good interview, positive, Bridgeman, eh?
Aye, he sounds really good, doesn't he?
So it's a 2-year extension he's got, so a wage rise.
That's fantastic. You know, that's like he's going to be here until the summer of 2020, I think it is. 2021.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm really delighted. Really, really delighted. And delighted for the Rangers fans because they have started to take a liking to him. I know for a while there was, because he's, shall we say, sometimes his play was a bit negative, and the guys used to leather him, shouting and bawling him and things like that. Hopefully that's dissipated. I haven't heard so much of that, and hopefully it goes on and on. I think he's brilliant. I think he's bubbly, he's happy. The better players you put alongside him, the more bubbly and happy he'll be, the more confident, and that oozes out and if it impacts on everybody else in a positive way. I think it's great.
Ulster?
Yeah, it's great. He seems he's very happy. Something similar was saying. That was the first time I heard that interview actually, but yeah, it seems to see that's what his reasons are. He thinks that the club's going in the right direction, and it's a place where he wants to win the league, he wants to win the treble, he wants to do it all. So I hope he can do that. And I think now the 3.5 years he'll be here, I think Tavernier will be here for 55. So happy days.
Yeah, we've been joined by Alan 63. Evening out.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How we doing, mate?
Hi, I'm fine.
What's on your mind, mate? What you think of the Tavernier signing?
Well, I was spurring about Colin, and what's his face buzzed me. Candace, he says, Alan, get in there, say something good about Tav, he helps me out. So
that was Murty phoned you on Saturday night, and you've got Candace and speed dial.
Okay. But the two of them do, they link up really well. Well, everything else, they have their off days as well, but...
Aye. I mean, Tav gave away that penalty against the Hibs, didn't he?
Aye. For the most part, though, they're pretty sound. And the more better players we've got in other areas of the pitch, if folk do want to do what Hibs were trying, then they'll not be able to because they're too busy watching one side and Murphy and whoever will be running right down the other side or somebody through the middle, no? So, all good, yeah.
Right, so you're happy with the signing? You think he's earned it? Do you think he's due it?
I think so, yeah.
All right, fair comment.
Better players. He's had some tough patches before. I was one of the guys that used to say how we need 2 full-backs, now we just need 1. I'm just saying
that. Who's the one full-back you want?
Big Travels listening there. Said yes.
Is there any particular full-back you want? Or is it just a different full-back?
A left-back, I think, if he was
somebody. Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, he has said that in the past. I just wondered if it...
I don't think we can rely just on thinking, well, that wee guy is good. The wee fella John. I've no idea what's going to happen with Wallace. And I don't like Wallace that much. But apart from that, if John gets injured, then we're in soapy bubble, aren't we? It's the same at right back, unless one of our centre-half guys wants to step over. And Murty doesn't look like he wants to do that, because given the chance, he played that wee guy Hodgson.
I think truth of the matter is a lot of the teams in the Premier League are the same. If one of these sort of key people gets injured, it is a struggle for them to come up with a player every bit as good. I know they're supposed to be able to do it, but it doesn't always happen, does it?
Not the filth.
No, even them.
Brenda thinks he's got a few for every position.
Oh, you're joking. Look at the state of their players. Wow. No, surely not. Not recently, anyway. My goodness gracious.
I think if I remember right, did Bates no play right back at Wraith Rovers a few times? I think I might have. I don't know.
He did, Rudy. The first time I seen him was against Barry Mackay, and he never gave him a kick.
Yeah, I thought that. So that's a possibility, I suppose. But that's a good point that Alan makes, though. Say, for instance, James Tavernier, some of the tackles going against Rangers players, if you lose Tavernier for the second half of the season, I think we'd be in a wee bit of salty bubble there, Maybe that's an idea maybe Graham Murty could look at, though, is maybe putting Bates out there, on the right, and bringing Ross McCrory back in. Well, I'm saying that, you still get Alves and you get Cardoso there as well, I suppose.
Do you know, I think Ross McCrory could play there as well.
That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, to be honest with you. I think you put that boy anywhere, you'd get a good game at him,
I think Alan's right. I think the left back position may be more fragile than the right back. for cover. I think at the moment we've got Declan John and the young lad that's on loan at the moment, Bierman. Excuse me. And you've got Hodgson, but I don't know if anybody wants Hodgson to play again for certainly non right back. And of course Wallace when he comes back. And when Wallace comes back, if he can pick up on his fitness and so on and so forth, quite a formidable player. And I know he'll have to fight like hell to get his place back in the team. But Declan John needs to show a wee bit as well. So this is back to this nice bit of competition for places and things like, you know.
Well, that's the good thing now, Bridge, isn't it? You've actually got competition for places once we get our injuries back, you know, once they're back
Absolutely,
again.
Pal.
And, you know, you've got competition. We never had that the first half of the season. So it should be the way at Rangers, a club the size of Rangers. You should always have competition for places. You should have to really play for your place, you know. And hopefully we're getting back to that again with some of the signings that were brought in and the injuries when they come back, you know.
I'm pleased for the guy. I think he's been, well, there's been three who's for the Warburton era now. We're left with obviously Danny Wilson's left us now. So you've got Foderingham who's a starter. You've got Taff who's a starter. Credit with Warburton, Bates and Holt. Yeah,
Bates, Holt, Windass.
And
Windass has appeared.
And what's his name? Halliday.
I wouldn't say he's a starter, would you?
No, but he's there. He's a good squad player. Good squad player. A good
covers a lot of
for left back. Yeah, I forgot about Halliday.
Covers a lot of positions. So
yes,
that's what's left for the Mark Warburton era. So then obviously the Pedro era. So I think the squad's really evolved in the last. It's only 13 months or something since Warburton left. So yeah,
only a year. But you think the last two seasons, how far up we've been down and up and down. It's no real third manager. Oh my God!
Also, the amount of players that have come and gone in that 13 months as well. You know, we went through a load of players. Like, you know, but there was a lot of bad signings as well. Though, you know, there was players that came in under Mark Warburton who should never had a shot.
You're right, absolutely.
And under normal circumstances, Bridge, some of the boys would never get near a Rangers jersey.
Of course. I think the one that I think is glaringly to me, and it's only me, so forgive me. I think that boy Herrera. The times that I've seen him coming on the park, and he's had a couple of nice wee flicks, and he scored a couple of goals and things. But my God Almighty, he isn't a football player at times, you know. And he's, you know what I mean, he's still in our squad and he's still coming on to play for us as a subby.
It's funny, Bridge, when I first seen him at Sheffield Live, I thought,
he's a find, yeah.
Well, he'll be alright, he's leading the line, knocking the ball, he was bringing people onto the play. Then when you start seeing him in competitive matches, he's still showing touches. But he's not going to be, our game, it's too physical for him, I think, if we're being honest about it. You know, he's maybe a tall centre forward, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a Mark Hateley type, you know.
Sorry, Rudy.
I was just going to say, Bridge, when we've got a fully fit squad, I don't see the big fella Herrera getting anywhere near it, to be honest with you. I really don't. I also think as well we'll struggle. I think we'll struggle to get rid of Herrera because from what I've heard, he's really happy here. You know, his girlfriend's attending university and stuff. So I don't know. I would like to think that the boy come on to a game at some point, you know, and we'll see something of him. You know that, you know, kind of. Yeah, but I don't know. I doubt it.
Rudy, that's what 2/3 or 3/4 of a season gone.
Yeah,
you know, he's been here the whole year. I think he's only started 2 games or something.
I'll tell you what, mate. I actually get angry when that's the board. Everybody will have different views about what they've done, whether you like them, dislike them. And I'm sure the night being Valentine's Day, we're going to have to discuss boardroom issues, but in the past. But I really get angry when where was the thought that they thought that Kitchener could come in and manage Glasgow Rangers? Who thought that was a right fit?
Aye.
We're under 20s guys in it now.
Aye, but at least he's I don't know if that's going to be the right fit.
Right.
At least he understands the psyche of the place, if that makes any sense, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it's not just that for me, Ox. I got to the point with Pedro where when he was doing the pressers, I was watching it from behind the couch, you know what I mean? And I was thinking, he's going to come out with something absolutely stupid here, you know? And at first, I kind of thought, he's just taking the mickey out the press. He's having a bit of fun with the, you know, with the press pack. But then it went for sort of, it went for kind of that to, it was started to get really cringe-worthy, you know, some of the stuff he was coming out with. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, watching this, I'm thinking, this is Glasgow Rangers, man. This guy's making us look like he's making us look like idiots, you know what I mean? And it just all got very embarrassing quite quickly as well, I have to say, you know, when you're moving stuff about on a table and explaining tactics and all that, and it got really stupid for me.
I think it was cringe-worthy.
Yeah, it was that, but it was that.
It kept getting worse too. I mean, see, we started putting up friggin' metal signs and stuff like that. We are the people, and I thought, you're just being a dick. You're making a laughing stock out of everybody that even considered thinking about you as a decent kind of decent manager once you get your feet underneath the desk and that. No, properly.
But you know, I think everybody did. I felt sorry for him.
No, everybody.
I know, but I think, in all honesty, I'm not being funny when I say this. Our board and our PR people, they should hang their head in shame for what happened to that boy, Pedro, because Pedro was allowed to go in there and say all the rubbish he was saying, and nobody at the board level turned around and says, "Hey, hold on a minute, you know, this Glasgow Rangers your way. You don't say these things, or you don't do this. This is the way you should do it." Nobody told him. Although I must admit, he might have been headstrong enough to turn and say, "It's my job, I'll do what I want," you know, that kind of thing. But I don't think he was given any big hints, and he just fell in the trap, didn't he?
I'd never seen it. I would have loved to have been proved wrong. I'd have loved Pedro came in, turned it around, and actually sitting 7 points clear at the top of the league tonight. But I just never thought it was going to work. Only my opinion. People might have thought it was the way to go. I know Ibrox Loyal was off of this Iberian football, you know, and well, that's all right if you're Barcelona, but
you have to look at some of the players they brought in and some of the wages that they were brought in on. I mean, however it was at board level, it's sanctioned that they need to take a long, hard look at themselves, you know. Pena, for instance, it's just been an absolute waste of space. He's just, you know, and reports are true. He's on funny money at Ibrox, you know. So for me,
Pena, Herrera, the boys, is it Dalcio?
Dalcio as well.
He's on loan. He's on loan.
Yeah, but what I mean is we will be paying his wages, you know. That's what I mean.
Aye, but he wasn't on big wages, would he?
I wouldn't know, pal. Honestly,
he came from Sport Lisbon B or whatever it is, and he wouldn't be on big wages. But Pena, Fox said in the summer, Pena or the Ryder get him the sack. He was proved right.
Well, he's right. Foxy was absolutely right. Proven right. I would think that's exactly what's happened. I also think that was it Pedro that brought in Ryan Jack and Dorrans, or were they already in the pipeline?
The thing is, Bridge, for me, is it's a culmination of all the managers' inputs we've had in the last few years. We've got a couple left for Ali's term, a couple left for Warburton's term, a couple left for Kashina's term, mate, and it's no easy to build a decent squad with little money, mate. We need to remember where we were financially. I think Mark Warburton said that he spent in the region of £2.9 million, mate, which in this day and age, to build a squad that he brought in, some of them, as we say, are still there and worth money now, like Foderingham, Tabra, etc. And also what Mark Warburton done was rearrange for youths, mate. I think people forget about that. It was him that brought in Murty, etc. and all that into the background squad and started to turn that around, which was a lame duck for years and years, mate.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And overall, they've all contributed in some way. Some know as much as others, but I mean, even Kashina, we've got, as we were talking earlier on, he's brought in, there's still people like Candias, mate, who's turned out to be a good one. We'd never have seen him. So they've all contributed in some way towards our progression, I think.
Well, the players we started off talking about tonight, for instance, folks, Tavernier, Warburton brought him in, a couple of $100,000. You wouldn't get Tab for a couple of $100,000 now. You know,
oh,
so
not at all, mate.
No, that was a great bit of business thinking on it now. And I know he brought him in when we were in the Championship. But, you know, I think it was Ox, mate, I said there sort of 5-10 minutes ago, Tab's probably in the region of a £3 million player now, you know. So there's one, for instance, that's vastly improved since he came in. You know, I know people have their doubts about Big Wes. He seems to take a bit of a heat stagger occasionally, you know, but he's a good big goalkeeper, is Wes Foderingham, you know, and he's another one that if he decided to leave the club, you'd certainly get a bit of money for him. I don't know what was the story with Wes. I don't know how much we got Wes for.
Free transfer.
Was there a free? Well, there you go
free
then.
Transfer.
So he brought him in a free transfer. So you're going to get money for Wes if Wes ever decides to go. You've got Josh Windass who's discussing just now. He's in the process of, talking to Rangers about a new contract. You get money for Josh Windass, you know. I mean, I think he came in for about $400,000 or something like that, maybe. So these players have certainly improved. You know, they've improved since they came in, but they've improved not just in their own career path, they've also improved. Rangers have going to get the benefit of these players if any of them ever decide to leave again, you know. So there has been some good deals done. I mean, Warburton at the time said if you get 7 out of 10, you know, if you bring 10 signings into the club and 7 of them sort of hit the ground running and do the business for you, you're doing really, really well. Well, I don't think he done that. But he certainly brought 3 or 4 players to the club that are doing a good job for us just now, you know.
Over the last 2 years, the squad that we've got has been, value's been added to it, let's put it that way. There are some people in there that, if we had the chance and the opportunity, to be honest, we would like some of them to go if we could get the money back on them. Herrera, for instance, I would imagine the manager would like them to go. Dalcio, I think, is here till summertime. I don't think they can just let him go like that. And I think that's the only 2 that's going to cause an issue, to be honest.
Pena.
Pena's away in loan, isn't he? So the chances that, well, by the way, based on the story that Oxford was telling us, and he's on the stretcher and he's getting booed off.
There's a boy.
He might never get back onto their pitch. He may be sent back to us for a... I don't know where one of the boys, Blue Shadows, just saying, what about Dodo? I don't know whether is his contract up at this summer. Did we give him an extension? I don't know. The sad thing is that the boy's probably never going to get a chance to play first team football. Halloran as well. No, you know, you go and you see all these players, do you think, you forget about them, don't you? Halloran, I cannot believe that we gave, I still say this and it's strong, somebody slapped it back on my head. We went up there to Perth and says to St Johnstone, here's £500,000. We'll take your number, we'll take this guy down here, and then we'll give him back to you for a loan. No. Unbelievable.
Well, all transfer targets made a gamble, aren't they?
Aye.
Some will work out for you and some won't, mate. It's the clear out I want to see in the summer. If we just
who do you want to see going? Who would you like to see going?
It's not a case I would like to see Embry gone, but some of them are at the end there. Obviously, Kenny, I don't know whether he'll actually leave the club or fall into a position in the club. I think Michael O'Halloran will be away. I think Herrera, will struggle to get rid of him. Joe Dudu will probably stay at the end of his contract unless we can find a club for him. So basically, come the end of the season, we're going to be left with Morelos, mate, himself, and Jason Cummins, whether we pick up his deal. That'll be the only 2 strikers we'll have for the start of the season left, mate. You know, that's a big change for me. And if you go into the midfield, we'll be getting ready probably, well, most certainly Crankar will be away.
Yeah.
But that's a kind of natural thing, isn't it? His contract will be up in the summertime in all probability.
Aye, that'll be the end of his term, mate. I don't see many shifting out for the midfield because during the run we had before Christmas, we we found out we were very short in the midfield. We're strengthened there.
Absolutely, pal. Yeah.
So, and when
what about the boy? What about the boy, Northern Ireland boy?
But let Fox finish.
Oh, sorry, Fox. I apologise.
I was just going to say that Cardozo, he's still only 23-year-old. I think there's still a decent wee centre-half in there, mate. Will he train on? We'll need to wait and see. David Bates will stay, Ross McCrory will stay, Taverner obviously, John's already signed, Lee Wallace, Bruno Alves probably will go, and Russell Martin, whether we bring him in a full-time deal. So there's probably around about 8 to 9 players, mate, that we hope to shift out. So
can I add? Sorry, again.
I hope Mark Allen is on the ball, mate, and see who he wants to bring in.
He's always excited at Valentine's Day. He's always excited at Valentine's Day.
What about Hodgson and Halliday?
Halliday potentially, if you did keep him, it would be because he's new. He wouldn't be first choice at any position. He could cover a lot of bases, but he's not going to get a lot of game time. I get the feeling Andy Halliday wants to play football as well, so I can't see him sitting just being a bit part player. And I mean, when I say a bit part player, he might not make the bench some weeks. I just can't. He doesn't strike me as that type. I might be wrong. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think, Ulster.
Interesting. Well, he is at the club, but he's probably always wanted to be. But then again, he has to look at his career, doesn't he? He needs to be playing football. I think a few of the names you have said there. If it was up to me, to be honest with you, it's like at the end of the window, if we could get rid of these players, it'd be the likes of Forrester and Dodu and Holiday. I think we'd need to. That's what I mean. These are players that are beyond the books, and we need to get rid of them because I just don't think they're good enough guys to take us to the next level. So,
does he know opened a furniture shop in Scotland?
Forrester.
He can't even get a game for Wimbledon. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Mackay's not even in the Forest, wasn't it? I'll go to Rudy and then we'll go to Alan 63. Rudy, you were coming in there, mate.
No, I was just going to say about Andy Halliday. I think he'd make a really good squad player because there's probably 2 or 3 different positions that Andy Halliday could play in, But like you say, I don't think, depending who we bring in the summer as well, because don't forget, we're going to have a few signings come in the summer, and I think Mark Allen will be working away with his team in the background. They'll be looking at players just now for the summer. I think Andy Halliday will really struggle to get in the team as it is, but I think he'd make a good squad player. But then you can almost name sort of 10 players, hopefully, will find places for in the summer. And if they go, that's a huge amount of money you're talking about there in wages. It's a lot of money. Frees up wages for players that we might be looking for to bring in the summer. And a lot of the players they know that are collecting the wages, they're not really doing anything for the club as such. Michael Halloran, for instance. I don't know how much the boy's on, but he's collecting a wage. Apparently he's really unhappy. I had a rumour the other day that he's really unhappy because he's not even getting looked at. So hopefully he'll want to go anyway come the summer. But I think there is 1 or 2 like Herrera, as I said. I think we'll struggle. I think Fox mentioned it as well. I think we'll struggle to get rid of Herrera, to be honest, because he's just showed absolutely nothing,
Anyway, I'll go to Alan 63, but then we'll be joined by George Logan. So Al, any thoughts? And then we'll go to George. Oh, lost Al. Evening, George.
I was talking to myself, sorry.
Oh, were you? Oh, mate. You think you were in the lobby? You think you were in the lobby, Al?
Aye. I often do that, yeah. I think you've got to look at Alnwick. I think he's got to go.
Oh, yeah, mate. We can that position. I see his ex-club, Port Vale, are saying that they've had a bad season, and one of the things they reckon is because they get rid of Alnwick. I was reading that in the press.
Can sell him back. The wee guy Hodgson, he's got to go.
Aye.
Dozy O'Doink's going to make it. I think he can go. Much as I think he's silky skills, I don't think it's going to work here. Jinx, is that many, isn't there? Halloran sounds like he hates him, so he's as well gone anyway. I think Halliday's got to go. I think he's just poor, no matter where he plays. I think he's had his day. I don't know whether there's injuries he's had in the past that we don't know about. But I think he's got to go as well. Wallace, I think Wallace has got to go. I think he's good enough. I don't think he was ever good enough, not just because he's injured. I don't know about Herrera. Herrera's a strange one because you couldn't write in 6 games, or you couldn't speak out 6 games off the top of your head when the guy said 90 minutes. So I don't even know if he's had 6 games at 90 minutes, and they're all rubbish in them. There's I think everybody else covered the other one.
All right. Evening, George.
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right, mate. All right. Was that a nice meal tonight, was it?
Aye, it was romantic. Aye.
Oh. With the floodlights on the pampas grass.
I'd seen George today. He had a lovely wee thing about his wife on Facebook. George,
yeah, that's plenty now. That's plenty. Leave that alone.
you got some brownie points after that, I'm sure, mate.
I have this every Wednesday.
Well done, George. Proud of you, mate.
I was going to see what you were saying there, by the way. I said a couple of weeks ago there, Ox, about Ken, the likes of Ryan Harding, that we've got to make a decision on these guys.
Forgot about him as well, mate.
There's a load of them in there. There's a load of them.
They can't just continue to take a wage off us, Ox. We're not the type of club now that can have O'Halloran and that. I said bring them all back, O'Halloran as well. As much as I like Halliday and O'Halloran and Joe Dodo and all these guys, we'll need to make a decision on these guys. These guys are on roughly between £6,000 and £8,000 a week, Ox. If you add all them up, that's a couple of half-decent players. And I'm not saying we're going out and getting world. I keep on saying world beaters. We're not going to go out and get world beater Ox. But what we need to actually go out and do, in my opinion, is get a couple of guys who are on free transfers, who ken how to play in Scotland, who scored goals against the Mickeys and teams like Kilmarnock and things like that, who's got to come in and do a job for us. There's no point in us having these guys sitting. In fact, I don't even think O'Halloran's even been on the bench for us since he's been back.
So you're looking for guys that have scored goals in Scotland and maybe the joint top goal scorer in Scotland. Would you go inside Chris Boyd?
Yeah, I said at the start of the season about Big Lafferty.
Oh, by the way, mate, he'd have been an improvement in Herrera. Let's be honest about it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And me, Ken's got to be a hanging point again, but we're going to something different again. Stephen A. Smith's got to be a free agent at the end of the year. He's on a 6-month loan deal at Hearts and now, so see up here to prove his fitness. Guys like that, I mean, if you got rid of O'Halloran, Joe Dodo and somebody else, that pays that guy's wages. And if he does all right up here, it's something we need to think about. I don't think we're the kind of club in America can keep all of these guys. I mean, there was Rudy saying about, he mentioned one day, I'd forgot about sitting on our bench. I don't think we can afford to do that. I found out that O'Halloran was on £8,000 a week, £8,000 a week, and they were paying £20,000 towards that for the first 6 months of his deal. And that's crazy. Like we can't afford to do that.
Madness. One of the things we had to do when we brought in the likes of Dalcio, Dodo, etc., we had to bridge the gap for our younger players to our first team squad. And they were brought in to maybe bridge that gap and see if any of them were good enough. But young Colts now are starting to produce good results in that kind of round of friendlies that they've had, mate. And we've bridged that gap now with our own youngsters. And I can see maybe in the summer, maybe 1, maybe 2 getting pushed forward towards the first team squad for there. And that's bridged that gap that's been so wide for years. Only Ross McCrory, when he broke in there at 19, has managed to make the jump for the youth into the first team squad. But I can see a couple of young boys coming through for the development squad and bridging that gap, and hopefully that gap never widens again. We're always got that conveyor belt of young talent coming through, and that's another thing that's been overlooked in the transformation of Rangers in a couple of years.
Good point. We've said about 15 players, Oxchair. I think we've said about 15 players that we could let go come the summer.
And who did we get rid of in the summer?
Gardner and Nico.
Enna.
No, in the summer.
And we didn't even get rid of them, did we?
No, Gardner went, Wycon went, Crooks went.
Oh, they were transferred, aye. See what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiernan went.
Kiernan went. Is he playing, Rob Kiernan? Southend, isn't it? I'll have a look when the tune.
Is that where Clint Hull is as well, Southend, is it?
No, was it, did I know he was it Carlisle?
Carlisle.
Maybe that's right, Carlisle, aye.
And by the way, Clint Hull done a good job for us, mate, didn't he?
Apparently he's doing a good job for Carlisle as well. I know a guy that lives in the Lakes just next down sort of where I used to live years ago. I see him occasionally when I'm doing that way, and they're really happy with him. They think he's a great player, so they're chuffed to bits with him. In fact,
he walk into their coaching staff as well, Rudy.
Well, he said to me he couldn't understand why Big Clint didn't get at least another year at Rangers, because he reckon he could have done a job for Rangers, you know.
I wish we'd have got him at the same age as Russell Martins came to us and knew, because he was a defender, mate. I like him.
I did as well.
Fearless, wasn't he? A fearless guy, absolutely fearless. Straight in for everything. Go for it.
Forrester needs to go, don't it?
Aye, definitely.
He's one of the 15, I think 15 or 16 I've counted now. God almighty.
I think he showed out like a squad.
One at a time. Right, one at a time. On you go, Alan, you finish off, and then I think it was George.
I'm just thinking as to who's maybe not been mentioned. Somebody might have said them, but I can't remember hearing the name Forrester. And I know I often quickly say Nico, but Fox has made a few points a few times with having youngsters. Maybe there could be a job there for him to show how to do the better passing, if you know what I mean. Because there's a few of them really can't pass.
Good comment, Alan.
Aye. Then, George, you coming in there, mate?
I just when Bridgman was saying there it's 15 players, Rocks. I mean, and there's another one. I mean, Kenny Miller. I'd imagine Kenny Miller's time will be up, let's be honest. I don't know if we'll keep on the coaching staff what they'll do with him, but at his time as a player will be up. Cranchar's time as a player will definitely be up. That's a lot of wages, Rocks. I didn't realise it was as much as 15, but if we're shipping out 15 guys, I'm happy with our squad now, by the way, as long as we can get these guys signed up, Rocks. Murphy, everybody's saying it's a done deal and things like that. Well, let's hope it is a done deal and get the money and get that deal out of the line. Cummins, get that deal out of the line. And there was another one. Who's the other one now? Another one. Anyway, who I think we should get the deal out of the line. If we can get the money for these guys, get the deal out of the line, and then move on to that next step, I think we're shaping up to have a no bad team. It's a right good team. That's 2 years we've been back in the Premier League now. And we're challenging for second now. If no first, but we're definitely challenging for up there for a strong second. So I think we're definitely moving forward, Docs. Definitely moving forward stronger.
I just checked out there. I mean, it's only the last game I looked at, but Kiernan wasn't even in the squad for Southend, mate. Wasn't even in the squad.
There you go, then.
You know.
I think it shows you as well, Ox, the size of the squad that we've actually got just now. You know, when you consider that we've got Jack Dorrans, McCrory and Wallace all injured, you know. Rossiter as well, who I'd like to see. I think that boy should be given at least another year, because I think there's a player there. So if you add them, you think about them, you think about the first team that we've got the new, and the bench that we've got the new, and then you look at the amount of players that we've just mentioned can go in the summer. It's a massive amount of players, really. It's a huge squad, you know. And as George just said there, it's a lot of money in wages, you know. If we can free most of that up, you know, then it bodes well for the summer as well, you know, for the players that's going to be coming in. We're going to be adding to the squad, obviously, in the summer, you know.
Anyway, lads, it's that time of the evening. We'll be joined by Gary. We'll talk to Gary after we have a tune. Take it away, Fox.
I've been in exile for some years and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. was grand from Macmillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. Now the league flag must come nearer, with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton Town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored. And the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal ramping Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town.
Thanks for that, Fox. Evening, Gary.
How are we all, guys?
Evening, Gary.
Got it.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Gaz?
Just what you were saying about Rob Kiernan there, I actually looked at it myself.
Morning.
One appearance he's had all season.
Is he? All season, is he?
One appearance. I have to say I can't disagree with any of the players that we're talking about getting rid of there. Can't disagree with any one of them. Don't really think I would have any to add. If I'm honest, I think we've pretty much covered all the ones that I would have said myself anyway. But I heard somebody saying, I can't remember who it was that said it, but we are building a really good team now, and yeah, we might not challenge for first this season, but to be honest with you, I'd be disappointed if we didn't win it next season, if I'm honest with you, because I think, like you say, we've been in it a couple of years now. I think we're now getting to the stage where we need to start showing where we belong.
I think the learning curve for this season is you need to win every game. Every game's 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that when you look at the league table, when you look at the points we've dropped, it's quite annoying, you know. But that's the learning curve. Anyway, lads, look, there's good and bad history, and when you talk about on this day, I think there's a couple of events happened in our history on this day, but obviously what happened 6 years ago, I don't think it's anything we can shy away from. And the journey we've been on since has been nothing short of traumatic for the Rangers support, who have done nothing wrong through this whole episode. 6 years ago today, Bridge. Memories.
Oh, when I got picked up off the floor, after it all happened, I was heartbroken. I can tell you that. I'm not alone. Thousands and thousands of us all over the world, totally gutted, angry, raging, absolutely raging. I think there's a few Rangers fans, including myself, if we could have got a hold of that Craig White, we would have done some damage to him. I must be honest, just with the anger it was in us, obviously we couldn't do these things, but you know what I mean? That was the feeling we had. And then, from that point, I thought, well, we need to find out what we can do here from a fan perspective. What can we do to help this club? Otherwise, we will go into liquidation, blah, 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 blah. Sure as shit it happened. It's not going to happen. It's best for us and all that nonsense. couple of months later at Hammond. You know, it's just really, really a 6 months of hell, and it went on and on, and it just seemed to go on and on. And really and truly, you look at us now and listen to the way the tone of our voices, how, shall we say, how hopeful we are for the future. We weren't hopeful at that point in time. We just didn't know. We were in bits. We were in bits.
The trouble was, mate, we couldn't get any truth or any information.
Exactly. They were all liars, didn't they? Just that's what it appeared like. Every single one of them.
On the journey, it got worse before it got better. George
Absolutely,
Logan,
pal.
George, where were you 6 years ago today, mate?
It's my brother-in-law's birthday day, and on that day I can always remember he was on the phone to me constantly. We're getting I say it's not happening. I just didn't believe it was going to happen. I really didn't believe it, and I seen the yellow strip coming up across the boat with Sky Sports News, Rangers into administration. I thought that was the end of it. I honestly believe. I thought that was it. I thought that was. There was no coming back for this. I thought that was it. Craig White had took everything he could possibly take out of the club, and I honestly believed that was it. I didn't think there was any coming back for it. And I try my hardest not to. I ken it's a massive, big day on that day, Ox. It was massive what happened and things like that. But it boils my blood even thinking about it. Even listening to Bridgman talking there, it does boil your blood and it makes you angry and things like that. And folks still laughing about it and things like that. Ken, you see things on the Facebook and that today, folks still laughing about it and that. But I would never ever want it to happen to us. But by jinx, it's brought the best out in the Rangers fans, is it no? Ken, the way we've came through the last 6 years.
Mate, 120 sellouts in a row, I think.
120 sellouts. Sunday will be the 121st sellout in a row for Rangers fans. There's Rangers fans who never done their journeys in that auction, and they've had the chance to go and do their journeys and things like that. So a lot of Rangers fans missed out the European games and things like that. Don't get me wrong, but where we've came from and things like that, I mean, it just makes. I ken you're saying about on that day, but it just makes me even more prouder to be a Rangers fan. Just the way the Rangers fans have conducted themselves. I went all the wee tunes, hundreds and thousands of miles travelling home and away, and we're still, to this day, we're still battling back, but we'll definitely get there.
Aye, George, aye.
What was that about the 120? Sorry, I was going to ask a question.
Sellouts in the road, away games.
Was it away games, right? Okay, that was the allocations, yeah. Rangers allocations sold out.
Yeah. Fox.
Second, I would say it was the second worst day in Rangers history, mate.
I get that.
After the Ibrox disaster.
Worse than that. Put any context.
But when you look at the support and the way we're going back now, mate, we've done a lot better than other clubs that have found themselves in that situation. Like their supports who had nothing at all to do with it, mate. Bad management. You can talk about Leeds United, Aston Villa, how they plummeted, everything, mate. Been bad management, mate. I think it actually galvanised. I think our support was starting to wane a wee bit, believe it or not, at 2012, because we were cutting corners everywhere, mate, and we weren't bringing in the best of players and hadn't been for a few years before it. But we seem to be on the road back now, mate. It's been a long journey. We're still recuperating, but we're getting there.
Well said.
Where were you, Fox? Were you in the house when the news broke? I know where I was, but...
Aye, well, I was, mate. I was just learning the computer then, mate, and I was on it constantly, and thank God there was another platform before this, mate.
Who was teaching you Alan Turing?
No, nobody was teaching me, mate. I was learning by mistake, mate, after mistake.
I'm glad you got that one, Bridge.
I know who Alan Turing was, mate.
Mr. Babbage.
But I think actually it's galvanised the support. Look, we've had a lot amongst the support. Who was right to do the job, who was wrong. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. And the support should use that as a weapon to galvanise instead of people still going over old ground constantly about who done this and who done that. The fact is now the board that are in control seem to be doing a very good job, and we've got to honour it. Everybody had doubts about them, but they've came through it. I think they have made a load of mistakes in the way through, but they've paid dearly for it with their own money, mate, and
But
they're still carried on.
Can I ask you a question, mate? And I'm not being facetious. Is there two types of fan? If you get an internet warrior and you've got a Rangers supporter.
No, I don't think we've all got our opinions, mate.
There's nothing wrong with opinions, but what I'm saying is, you've got internet warriors, and some of them might never have set foot inside Ibrox.
Well, that's always been the case, mate. People used to argue with you in pubs and they'd never been to a game. You know, it's always been the same. It's more visible on the internet now and the way it's changed, mate. But what else can you say about it, mate? It was a tragic time for everybody. I ended up in depression, mate, and that's no making a joke about MD. An MD that's had depression, mate, would know what it feels like. And then along came a wee platform before this, and people were getting together to see what they could do about it and how they could speak about it. And it's carried on throughout the forums, mate, and all the forums have helped gel the fans, mate, for me, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Fair comment. Ulster Bird, you're a bit younger.
A bit younger, but the effects hit me the same. I don't think any of us could quite believe what was happening. I was actually in work with my father at the time. I don't even think we said 2 words to each other on the way home in the van. He was driving the van. I just don't think we just could not believe what was actually happening at the time. And we thought Rangers. I was speaking to the partner and all about it, obviously, as you do, because Fox is correct. Like, I think a lot of us went into the depression mode because Rangers is such a big part of our lives, especially something that I've been coming over to Scotland since as far back as I can remember. It's just a massive, massive part of my life. And at that time, we all thought it was crashing down. There was a real chance at that stage that Rangers could be no more. And she actually said to me at the start, at the very start of it, she was like, "Well, that's great news. I'll not have to hear about the Rangers this and that." And after a few months, she was going, she was saying, I hope Rangers start to don't go away here, says, because you're a different person. Because I just didn't really want to talk or anything. It just hit me like even thinking about it, it was just desperate times. And where we've come through it as a support, I don't think anybody else could have done the same, to be honest, only the Rangers. I think we've found out that we love Rangers, we always have, but I think we've got that extra love for the club that we maybe didn't even know we had then. And I think that's why we're selling out everywhere we go, because we're just so happy now that Rangers are here, and I don't think we'll ever take Rangers as a club for granted again, because at that stage we thought we could never be back again, but we're here and we're still on the road to recovery, but we're getting there. So it was a sad time, but something we won't forget, and when we're winning trophies in the future, we'll probably enjoy them more than we ever did before.
Yep. Rudy Bear.
People talk about a GFK moment, don't they? I know exactly where I was. I was driving at the time when I was heading for Ayr, and I had the radio on all day. I was trying to listen for stuff, and I was of the opinion in the couple of months running up to it that it wouldn't happen. I was just absolutely convinced there's no way this is going to happen to no Rangers, no a club the size of Rangers. My big mate wasn't so sure. I kept saying to him, it's not going to happen. Somebody's going to step in and sort this out. There's no way this is going to happen. And then that day, when I was driving here, and I came on Radio Scotland, and it was almost disbelief at first. I really couldn't believe what I was hearing. I actually had to, when it sunk in, I pulled in the car into a lay-by and just sat there for about half an hour, and I literally felt sick to this pit in my stomach. I thought I was on the verge of actually bursting into tears. And me and
I get it, Rudy. I get it.
We just sat in the car for half an hour and we never even spoke. We just listened to all the furore that was going on Radio Scotland, and it sunk in there the few minutes since I first heard it on the radio, and I can't even begin to describe. I'm even getting a lump in my throat right now just thinking about how I felt at that time. It was shocking, absolutely. I couldn't believe it, that this had happened, that somebody somewhere had let this happen to a club, our club, the club that we've all loved since we were all kids, And we drove into Ayr, and I met up with a couple of mates. We went for a bit of lunch, and the four of us, all Rangers supporters, hardly said a word. I could barely eat, and that believe me, that tells you something. But I could barely eat my lunch. All I wanted to do was get back in the car and drive back, and then I'll be, a few months after that, my big mate went out to Ibrox to renew his season ticket and stood in the queue and all that, and he phoned me up later on that night to say he was in tears because when he was standing in the queue, he was looking at all the bricks and all the names, all the bears that had bought bricks for loved ones who were no longer ways and stuff like that, and he was in fucking tears. He was in tears on the phone talking to me about it, and it was tragic what happened to us. How the authorities allowed that to get to that point is just, I've got my own theory about all that stuff, you know what I mean? I don't want to go into
it. I don't think I can say it on here, mate.
No, I don't want to go into it all because,
let's just say it involves politics.
Yeah, it certainly does, and it angers me still to this day. It wasn't just politics, and there was more to it than that as well, because it was all for the benefit of one club, you know what I mean? And I don't even want to mention his name. But anyway, it was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. I sat in that lay-by, as I said, when I first heard it on the radio, I sat in that lay-by, I felt sick to the pit in my stomach, and I was on the verge of tears. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, because I really didn't think it was going to happen. My big mate kept saying, I'm not so sure, And one more thing I wanted to say is, when the fans, when the Rangers support got behind the club and went out and bought the season tickets and started following the club properly, Fox made a good point. The support was maybe waning a wee bit round about that time, round about that season. But it bolstered the support. The support got galvanised, went out, supported, filled the stadium. And I was still listening to Radio Clyde at the times, and I was listening to that cretin Hugh Keevins saying it was anger. The only reason Rangers fans were still following the club was through anger. That's what, and he was of the opinion that the Rangers fans, if Rangers went down the tubes, the Rangers fans would just go and follow other clubs like Partick Thistle and like that's ever going to happen. So that's my feelings round about that time, like, you know what I mean?
All right, mate. I don't think you were alone. Gary, then Al 63, mate.
Aye, mate. I was in work at the time, and the job I was doing, we weren't allowed to kind of use phones at our desks and that. So every so often, I was going to the toilet pretending I wasn't feeling well. Well, I wasn't feeling well really, because like Rudy said there, it just made you sick to your stomach. For the minute I laid eyes on that guy, he who shall not be named, I never trusted him. For the minute I set eyes on him, I knew he was up to something. But what I will say is, and pretty everybody's mentioned it, but what other club in the world do you know that can bring 50,000 fans to a third, fourth division match?
Absolutely.
There isn't one. Do you know what I mean? There just simply isn't one. We are the best fans in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. So, but it's made us stronger. It definitely has made us stronger.
Well said, young man. Well said. Al 63.
Aye. When I first heard it was on the radio in here, I wasn't keeping too well. My first thoughts were, that'll be right. That'll be one of those wind-ups online and somebody's taking it to heart. No, I thought it was kid on. And then it started to really kind of gather pace, like one of the West Snowball's been doing a steep hill, and I thought, bloody hell, this is actually happening. I just didn't ever see that happening. I always thought when I was younger, if anything bad happened to a football club, one of the guys at Murray would step in, no doubt, they would. And we know where we went. And I went from feeling like sad, and I did great of it, and I'm no ashamed to say it. And see, after that, I actually got angry. And I can't remember what Angela says, but I put her in the hospital for 3.5 weeks. Nah, that's a lie, just kidding. No, I went for that. Sorry. I went for
Valentine's Day too.
I did feel angry, but probably punched the mattress or something. Aye, I don't want to even talk about it anymore. We're way past it. I'd rather just move on, no?
Still hurts Alan, doesn't it, man? It's
if we're brave and we're honest, then we can't sweep anything for your history under the carpet.
No.
We've got to be up front, we've got to be honest.
No, well, I've acknowledged it, but
as individuals.
Can I say something now? I was just going to say there's a couple of names that I want to mention who, for me, come that end of that season in 2012, when the big liquidation hit and we get bought over immediately, and who for me were heroes and then became villains, both of them, of different degrees, and that was Charles Green and Ali McCoist, and they're the two that stood up to the SFA and the SPFL, and in fact it was the SPL at the time, excuse me, and the five-way agreement and all that crap about wanted to take our titles and so on and so forth. So once we knew we'd been taken over, there was a bit of saviour within them between Ali and Charles Green, and I thought, thank God for they two. That was my thoughts. And like Rudy says, his mate was standing in the queues. I was doing it two days running in queues for tickets for Rangers, season tickets and renewals and goodness knows what. I'd been doing that for my brothers and me. And 7 hours the first day and 5 hours the next day, standing in queues there. And there was thousands and thousands of Rangers fans, thousands. And they could have been there for days for all I know. And I'm not being funny. That's how much it meant. And the figures you mentioned, you know, you're getting a full house, or near enough a full house in the third division at Ibrox. We went to Queen's Park, 30, 35 or 40,000 or whatever it was. Unbelievable figures. And this was great the way, as Oswell used to say so eloquently, they refinanced the whole of the Scottish, at that time the SFL teams, refinanced the whole lot of them. Yeah. And it was the SPL lost out and all that. However, it wasn't long after that, maybe a couple of years later, we started to find out Charles Green wasn't quite as good a saviour as we would like to, because within 2 years all the money we'd put into it had all gone.
I think it was about a year later, mate. Well,
I'm saying that was within a wee while, and Ali was holding back on this £1 million and God knows what, all the rubbish, you know. And we were glad to see the back of that. And I have to say our new saviours are King and Company and the Three Bears.
We never know the right story, but it was a wee bit of a magical time, that.
Oh, absolutely,
how to say that summer, when the people were queued up and people were getting behind the club and people were, let's just say, Ulster, as you said, they were renewing their vows, you know, for the Rangers, if you like, you know, and but we were all buying into it. And Ali McCoist, for that particular period, I'm going to come to George, that sort of summer, before the actual football started, Ali McCoist was the glue that galvanised the support.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely.
George?
I keep saying that.
Forget about Ali McCoist, the manager, and what happened after it. But
that's it. Ali McCoist for me, and everybody can say what they want. Ali McCoist for me was the only man that could ever got us through the time you got through. For that period we're talking about, you're talking about that summer, I don't believe Walter Smith or any other guy in the world could have got us through what he done. And I've heard stories in the background what he done. He was up to all hours doing things and that. Ali McCoist for me, and now let's forget about everything else later on and before that and later on. Ali McCoist for me is still the only guy that could have ever got us through that. And he got us through it, and he brought us all together, and folk are talking about Charles Green and all things like that. And for that, I'll always be thankful to Ali McCoist. Folk talk about the money he took and all. I don't care about that. I don't believe we would ever go through that time, Ox. And I've said that to you 1,001 times. I don't think we would ever go through that time, that period, that summer you're talking about, the first part of that first season. And I do believe he should have walked away after that. But that aside, I do believe that Ali McCoist done everything he could have possibly done to the team he loves. For
along with Sandy Jardine, mate.
Absolutely.
There's another one, Ox. I mean, there's it sort of slipped my mind a wee bit there on talking about it. And other folk in the background as well, he didn't actually normally think about a guy you've interviewed on here who done his bit for it as well, who didn't really. But Ali McCoist, for me, was the guy who done absolutely everything for that club to save that club. And by the way, he done a great job, and I hate talking about that wee period. I really do. Again, you've got to do it. I really hate talking about it. But you ken me. I was one of the guys that stood outside that stadium, getting rid of the board and doing this and doing that and getting rid of the next thing. But for me, and I did never think I'd be able to turn around and say to my lad who knew, but my grandmate in the years to come, by the way, I've seen Rangers playing in every professional ground in Scotland. I didn't think that would ever happen, because I thought I would just went to see Rangers in the Premier League and the Champions League, and that was it. I did never think I'd be every single team Rangers have played. I've either seen them once or twice away from home. I didn't think I would ever been able to see that, Ox, or the country. And I wasn't the only one that was doing it, by the way. There was thousands of other fans, or the country up and down.
And there was thousands every week. Couldn't you get tickets, mate?
Thousands of fans standing outside the ground. Peter Heed on a Wednesday night, Ox. I'll never forget it. P.S. Heed on a Wednesday night, and there's hundreds of fans standing outside trying to see through wee corners in the breaks in the fence and things like that to watch this game. I mean, there's no many other clubs in the world would do that. I don't care what anybody says. I think we're biased on here, but there's no many other clubs in the world.
I've never noticed that, George.
See the thing going about that, George, and that's a brilliant point that you make, about the fans, and how loyal they were and how they stuck by the club. At no point did I ever notice the Rangers support getting any credit for that in this country. Where I did notice it was online for French journalists, Spanish journalists, German journalists, even a Japanese journalist came to see this, that Ibrox was packing out 50,000 bears for a third division match, and they did big write-ups in the French papers and the German papers, and even they were like, this is amazing. This club is playing in the third division of Scottish football, this huge club, and they're packing out their stadium. Not only are they packing out their own stadium, they're filling everybody else's stadium everywhere they go. And nobody in this country gave the Rangers support any credit for that.
They were laughing at us, Rudy. They were laughing at us, Rudy.
When you say this country, no the UK, mate. The English media seen it completely.
No, Scotland, he means. Scotland.
Aye, no, I'm talking about Scotland. Aye. And as I said, I saw stuff online for French journalists, German, Spanish, as I say, Japanese, Italian journalists. They were gobsmacked. First of all, this had happened to a club the size of Rangers, that they couldn't believe the fact that Rangers support were still following their team and packing out Ibrox and every other stadium in the country, even in the third division. We set records week in, week out for support. And not one bit of credit did we ever get in this country for it. When I say this country, obviously I mean Scotland.
Where are Rangers playing this year? Sorry, Foxy. Sorry.
Fox coming in there.
No, it wasn't me. It was coming in me. I was listening.
It was me. Sorry.
No, right. On you go, Bridge.
I was just going to say, following on for Rudy, because this is really close to my heart. I've listened to Radio Scotland and Radio Clyde and BBC Scotland Sports Sound. I listened to these people and they were laughing at us. Where are Rangers playing next week? Ha ha ha, they're doing it on and up at Peterhead, as George says, and all these fans still going, never a mention of the fans. All they were saying, they were just laughing. And when we were doing it at Berwick and there was a couple of naughty songs sung, all the TV cameras were there, and what was all they wanted to talk about was that these naughty songs getting sung. A whole load of rubbish, a whole load of hatred, just pure hatred. And that's why I admired at the time I said he was a hero and he turned into a villain, was Charles Green. Charles Green turned around and told them to their face, every one of them, the reason for this happening to Rangers is nothing short of just hatred and bigotry. That's the only reason it's happened. And he was right. And we know it. He was right.
They hated him saying that, didn't they, James? Sorry.
On you go, I'll finish your point then.
I remember what Bridge was talking about, and they all kind of went tonto on the fact that he went and said it was like bigotry, sectarian or whatever like that, no? And it was like...
hatred, jealousy and bigotry.
Christ. Yeah, he was telling the truth.
George?
Sorry about that. The one for me, Ox, was, Bridgeman's famous for talking about it, but again, we did go everywhere. We literally did go everywhere. And we played, like I said, was it Montrose or something like that? We played on the Saturday, and then we're down the road, and then we're back up to Peterhead on the Wednesday for a rearranged game or something like that. And then we went to the one at Bridges thing we're famous for talking about, is the Queen's Park one at Hampden. 30,000 or 35,000 Rangers fans going to Hampden. for a third division game, Ox. And by the way, let's be honest, our team were dross, Ox. We had the biggest. We were dross. They were horrible to watch. I mean, we had guys, Kabare. If you go to tell this guy Kabare, he's come out, he's a Brazilian. I still didn't believe that boy was a Brazilian.
No, I think George, if you look at the press, he had a Brazilian. That was.
I know. Team where he is now.
Remember that, George? You hear it, Fraser scored in the last minute. Amazing.
Did I read? Where is he now? I did read that.
He's at Dundee United.
That's right. Well, hopefully.
No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not. That was a wind-up.
Is it no funny that on this day that they decided today, Keith Jackson done a thing about how good the SPFL and how everything's rising under Doncaster after they get rid of Regan, mate. And never once did they give the credit for the rise in money going into Scottish football to Rangers. Not once.
To Rangers. Aye.
Bankrolling them, pal. We are bankrolling them by a big margin. Bankrolling them. I watched the news there. I think it was just come on the other night. That it showed you the game that Celtic played Partick Thistle or something like that. And the place was empty.
Told you 15,000 was it? They sold 21,000 tickets sold because obviously they've got continuous credit. People through the gate, 15,000.
Unbelievable.
So
the other thing about that period, mate, we weren't the only football club in Britain using that scheme.
Right.
Have you heard of any other club being dragged through the calls for it? No, because we were made an example of. And I hope the authorities and the football authorities do the same thing for the next biggest scandal coming up in British football, mate.
Oh, what could that be, Fox?
Look, our club had its soul bared and tore into with wolves, mate. We had to sit and take it, everybody having a go at us. I hope our support, whenever this thing comes up, mate, nobody's allowed to talk about it because you're supposed to be some sort of freak if you think that people that cover up child abuse is a good thing or a bad thing. You know what I mean, don't you? And see if there's a cover-up in this country on this, and I think that there's moves afoot that just now, the sudden cry out to get rid of, what was the one that went there? For the Regan. And now to start replacing them with other people before this thing hits or breaks on the courts, mate. That's what I'm watching just now, and I hope our support are watching it and start really taking a real interest in this and how it's going to play out in the judicial front, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's already started with CAFC. So the journey, it actually got worse before it got better, didn't it? Because not only did what happened to us with the white no pine or VAT, because in reality that was the thing, that was a domino that knocked us out. We had the other so-called big tax case sitting in the background that was perpetrated for the people. It took years to unravel, it made us toxic. Then we were victims of, I don't know if embezzlement's the right word, but money was disappearing under our fist, and we went from bad to worse before we committed. So it was about 2, maybe even 3 years, George, before we started coming out in a slump.
You're bang on, Ox. 100%. It definitely got worse before it got better. There's still things happening now, Ox, as you can tell, but like you're saying there, I mean, for the way we were treated, I think it was bad enough the way we were treated in the run-up to UEFA Cup final, Ox. But see that small change to the way we have been treated since 2012 for the authorities. Because Rangers are, and always will be, the biggest team in Scotland. Rangers were, and always a team that kept Scottish football afloat. All this carry on about happy Saturdays and all this big full Saturdays and that. There's no a team in Scotland have done anything like what Rangers have done, Ox, and that's what they need to remember. And they've got the nappy rippers out the road there, and they're backing them as much as they possibly can. They're doing everything they possibly can. The shit's going to hit the fan big time, Ox. And see, like you're saying, it will definitely go worse before it go better. It will 100% get better for us. And we've got a clear conscience, Ox. That's one thing we can say. We've got a clear conscience. I would rather live with our history than die with theirs.
Every time, Judge, every time, Judge. Alan, you coming in?
Well, it was just with George went and mentioned the UEFA Cup, and I could quickly just give you a very, very quick rundown. I want it to slip 2 minutes, right?
On you go, Al.
See, in the month leading up, so obviously it was April, we played Celtic, we played Fiorentina in the first leg, we played St Johnstone, we played Celtic away, we played Partick Thistle away, Sporting Lisbon away. Oh no, asking back in time, sorry. Right, I'll start with that. But it's a third, it was a guy, and what do you call it? Not Rangers Media, the other one. Follow. I'd went and put it up, and I went and copied it in a notebook. And the 3rd of April, so starting off, we had Sporting Lisbon at home in the first leg. We had Dundee United away, with Sporting Lisbon away. We had Partick Thistle away, with Celtic away, with St Johnstone. And the Scottish Cup semi-final with Fiorentina at home. That was the UEFA Cup semi-final first leg. And then 3 days later, Celtic away. Then you move into May, and we had Fiorentina away. We had Hibs away, Motherwell at home, Dundee United at home. We had Zenit in the UEFA Cup final.
Yep.
And all these games are all played within 3 days of each other. Motherwell away, St Mirren away, Aberdeen away, and then with the
Scottish Cup
final, it was Queen of the South. And all day, that was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 games in May, April, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in May. The ones in May, there's hardly 3 days between them.
17 games in about 6 weeks.
Unbelievable. And that's
but you're not being
SFA
fair, mate. You're not being fair. They had to go to the tour of Japan, didn't they?
Oh, aye. And there was a game cancelled for a guy who was no longer with him. No harm to the guy who died. But, aye, they were at it.
Yep. But as George says, what was the statement, George?
Nah, you would rather die with your history
than live with theirs.
Bloody right.
You wonder if some people have got a conscience, but Ox, Ken, that's the thing, like, Ken, I feel bad that our club never paid taxes and things like that. I do genuinely feel bad. But I've got a conscience yourself, Ken. But
you know my theory in tax evasion and tax avoidance, George. Everybody that knows me knows my theory on that.
Exactly, Ox. But that's all about having a conscience, Ox, at the end of the day.
Aye. Well, we just don't go into a wee box and speak to somebody. So...
That's good. That's a good one, Ox. Well done.
What are you talking about? Don't know
you've got to remember, though, you're talking about a club that's pulled every dirty trick in the book in their history, you know what I mean, to cover things up, you know, so to talk about a conscience and name in the same sentence is just, that's a total waste of time. They don't know what that means, you know what I mean? That would never ever cross their minds, you know what I mean?
Anyway, so we started the journey against Brecon, and it did get worse before it got better, Fox. We were in turmoil, and the fans. The worst thing for me was the fans. When I was going up the road, and some of my mates weren't gone, and the other ones were gone, and people they weren't fought out, but they were bickering because of it. But we managed to get through that, and now we seem to be heading in the right direction.
Aye, well, it's been a long journey, mate, and it's not complete yet. It doesn't stop until we win 55, mate.
Yep.
Even the Scottish Cup this season will show we're on the way, but we need to take that 55 title, mate. 55th. I'm getting tongue-tied here. I'm getting upset. Move on.
Do you know what I fear? If you don't mind me putting this out to you guys, I don't know if anyone's heard anything about it or not, but my big fear, and this is a publicity type thing, from a negative press perspective, I think what's going to happen is the press in this country, they've had a field day with us and they're still finding ways of, shall we say, putting the boot in and maybe even putting the knife into us. They're going to turn around and say that Rangers haven't won a trophy since, let's say, 2011. I'm just using this loosely. It may, in fact, be longer than that. But they haven't won a trophy in Scotland for a number of years. And obviously, our dark years of 4 or 5 years, we weren't in the top league. and we were incapable as a team-wise. We didn't have the strength to go and win a cup. So they're going to use that in some way as a negative against us.
They already did, Bridge.
Sorry, I was just meaning.
They said it in Sunday.
Okay, I'm just saying. I don't know if they've said it. That's why I'm saying.
But Rangers haven't won the Scottish Cup since 2009. But we went 25 years without winning the Scottish Cup.
No, but I'm saying I think they'll turn around and say we haven't won a major honour.
It's fact,
for 5 years. No, I know it's fact, pal. I know, but I'm talking about it's just getting used as negative because they're not turning and saying because we were down in the lower leagues we couldn't win the league. Because we were 3 seasons or 4 seasons out of the league, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's obvious we couldn't do that. It's just the way they do it. My hatred for them pours out, so my apologies.
Radio Spud on Monday, Bridgeman. Wee Shug, he was agreeing with one of the Terriers that had called up that we hadn't won anything since such and such, what was it, 2012, 2011. And DJ corrected them. He says, beg your pardon, he says, we won through the leagues, the titles we went on, and then they changed it to we mean the top
major trophies,
major
ones.
But you can only win the league you're in.
I'm just meaning the negative press thing, you know. As we're building up and things are starting to look a wee bit better for us, and we're getting a decent squad, which they never thought we would ever get this quickly. So if we're getting a decent squad and the good times start coming to us. Then there's another big club to batter us with. You've never won nothing for this long at a time. Not even giving a thought to, or even, by the way, the reason we know you never won the league is because you weren't there. We put you out.
Bridge, do you think we're the last Scottish club to play in a European Cup final and will be the last one?
I think so.
Until we're next,
goodness, I think, really and truly, based on what we saw in the league, shall we say, in the Champions League, and our top, shall we say, the top team in our country,
but that
by a
PSG,
distance,
they were the best team in the world. They would have beat anybody by 5 or 6 goals. How did they go on tonight?
Get bumped tonight, didn't they? What I'm saying is that this is the impression we're being given, and we see ourselves. We've watched them with glee. I don't know that we watched their game, but we watched with glee. They get absolutely pumped, and they win one game, and all of a sudden they've been dropped into the Europa League, or Europa Cup, whatever they call it, and you know, forget 3 points or something like that. How the hell did that happen? You know, but they're in. So that's it. There's some world-beating club, and all the rest of the world are mesmerised by
the question for Fox was, will we be the last team?
I think so, yes. By a long way.
All right. George, I'll come to you next, Alan. I want to go to George and then Ulster. George, what was the moment? Was it King coming in with people who were a similar background for us? You might people will question and have their thoughts on Dave King, but do you think that was the beginning of the end? When King, Paul Murray and John Gilligan stood at the front of the door?
Aye, that was it for me. So that's what I was looking for. For how many years was that? Was it 3 years? 4 years maybe? Aye, 3-4 years. Achill and the Charlatans were involved in ripping everything he could for the club, and I always wanted King to come in, I believe, and I'm not saying King's doing the greatest job in the world. I'm not saying he's doing a bad job either. I'm not saying he's doing the greatest job in the world or anything like that, but I always wanted King to come in. I thought he was the guy to come in and bring folk in and do things. I think he's actually starting to do it now, to be honest. And I think that day, it's hard to say, but I actually believe that day a pressure came off me. Until that point, I thought you're always going to have to be fighting against this board. You're arguing, you can, it's not right. And that day, I thought to myself, there's guys in there, Paul Murray, a lot of folk didn't like him. It's my opinion. I think he wants the best for the club. Dave King knew the parts are involved as well. So I think for that day onwards, I think that was we could actually say we've got our club back, and we're going to start going somewhere. And for me, that was definitely that day. That was definitely. What was it? The 6th of March, 2014.
But you still get mistakes, mate. Everybody makes mistakes. It's only hindsight that lets you know. Of course you cannot.
Anybody will get mistakes. You'll get mistakes all the time, and there's times when I'll say the board's not doing the great thing, but I honestly think that they're doing the best they can.
I just said earlier on the night, I can't understand for the life of me what they were thinking about when they gave Pedro the job, but that's my opinion.
And I was known at the time, and I said that's something I would think with them again as well. Why on earth did you even consider even giving that guy the job? It was crying out for a British manager, a Scottish manager, somebody that knew Rangers at that point, and they go and do that. So, of course, I'll always criticise them, but I can honestly think that even though they got that wrong, they probably were trying to do the best for the club at the time, Ox. You know what I mean? So,
here. Ulster?
Yeah, I don't think we could trust the other boards, to be honest. There was a lot of infighting and we weren't really going anywhere. Don't think, you need to be united, obviously, as a board and support to go places. And I think at that point we were worrying when we were calling up charlatans. There was all different things going on. And maybe a wee bit of infighting with fans too. Some thinking the ones were right, some thinking they were wrong. But I think since King and the rest have come in, we've got a wee bit of stability. Yes, there's been a few teething problems, but that was going to happen no matter who came in. You'll not get every decision right, but I think that we can all agree that they do want the best for the club. Sometimes they maybe haven't made the best decisions, as in getting maybe like the Pedro and maybe wasn't the greatest decision at the time, but they are trying their best, and I think we're starting to get the right way now. We're deals behind the club, hopefully getting better sponsorship and things done now. Obviously, we've got a credit facility now, which will be a wee bit of normality as well. Obviously, people behind the scenes are trusting the club that we're in a position that we can get these legs of credit things. And
retail deal, the retail deal bit.
Retail deal was another big one, which was holding us back. And I think, obviously, when we get this new strip deal, hopefully the start of next season, we'll all be able to buy shirts for our wee ones and all again. So slowly but surely, we're going in the right direction. I think that was a big pivotal moment, getting the likes of King and the other Bears involved. So, yeah, I think the future's good now for us.
Rudy?
It's certainly great that we've got Bears on the board now. We've never had that previous seasons, but we've got Bears since Dave King and the rest of them came in. We've got Bears on the board, and they think about the club the same way we do. We come on here and have a gripe occasionally, and sometimes I'm happy with the result and the performance and stuff like that. And they feel the same, The difference between us and them is we don't need to run the club, they do. And I think up to now, they get a thumbs up for me, because I think there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you don't really hear that much, you don't really notice so much, because we tend to concentrate on what's actually happening on the park. The retail deal for me was a huge thing, because I kind of couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel with that. And then all of a sudden it kind of came about. I mean, there was a wee rumour for a wee bit, a week or two or something like that. I kind of picked up a wee rumour here or there. And then all of a sudden it seemed to just come out of the blue. That's it, retail deal sorted, And I was really surprised by that. So I think they deserve a huge amount of credit for that, because that retail deal totally hamstrung us as a support and as a club. So it did. Knew, as Big Ulster was saying, knew we can go out and buy our jerseys and our scarves and anything else, whatever merchandise you're interested in buying. I mean, a couple of days after the retail deal got sorted, I bought four Rangers tops, so I did, give the old credit card a bit of a bashing, and I'll do it again. When the new strips come out next season, I'll do the exact same thing again, because it's what we do as Rangers supporters, There's certain things that you can look at the board and say they messed up, and the huge one, the big one, is Pedro, isn't it? And some of the wages that we were talking about earlier on that were sanctioned for certain players like Pena and stuff like that, and transfer fees or whatever. Aye, but what you've got to remember is some of these guys, it's a huge learning curve for them as well, They're doing well. They'll learn from mistakes. I think they've already learned for the Pedro thing, actually. I think they've already learned for that. I don't think that will happen again. I don't see them knew that Mark Allen's been put in.
I'm going to credit them, Rudy, for firing the trigger, Sir Twit. You could have just let it stumble on, mate.
Aye, we got to the point where it just had to happen. They knew it, and it was right. Pedro, there's your jotters, mate. Sorry, but it's just not working out. I think they deserve a huge amount of credit for getting Mark Allen in, because I think Mark Allen's done a great job so far, and I think he'll do an even better job. And we'll see that in the summer. We'll see the work he's putting in behind the scenes just now. we'll see that coming to fruition this summer. There, as I said, there's things they've done wrong, but there's lots they've done right. They're spending money on the stadium, they're upgrading the stadium, So, it's a wee bit like they're learning how to run a club the size of Rangers, and I think they'll get better at it, They've got the credit facilities thing sorted now, which is a step in the right direction. So they deserve credit. You have to give them credit when it's due,
Yeah. Gary, then Alan 63.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge day when the three of them came in. It's just great to finally have people that genuinely have the best interests of the club at heart. Do you know what I mean? Obviously the kit deal and stuff, that was a big thing. Getting rid of Ashley was the moment for me when I realised that things are back to the way they should be. What I will say though, just something I heard earlier on, we'd obviously mentioned before about something that Mark Guida had said in terms of something happening in the summer. He reiterated it again tonight. He didn't stress, he says, I'm not going to say that it's anything to do with investment, but he says it could be something to do with restructuring. And he said that there's definitely, his words were, there's a spring in the step and behind the scenes. I think it potentially might be a big name manager, possibly. I don't know, but
do we want to tell them what we know, Bridge?
Go for it.
Nah, we can't tell them. We've been
you can't do that.
Bridge, I want to change the mood completely, Bridge, and I want to ask you this question. You, Bridgeman, right? On this day, George, wait to hear this one. You listening, George?
Hi, Ox, I'm listening.
On this day, Rangers 2, Standard Liège 0, the quarter-finals of the European Cup, right? We'd lost 4-1 in Belgium. And wait to hear this. Willie Henderson missed the game because he gets stuck in traffic. Does it ring a bell, Bridgeman?
It does, aye. But it wasn't as uncommon as you think it might have been.
Right.
A lot of players did that, yeah.
Yeah?
Aye.
The quarter-finals of the European Cup, and Willie Henderson gets stuck. Arguably one of the best players in the country around about then.
Oh, absolutely,
62.
yeah. Aye. Remember, he was a member of the Rest of the World Select. Willie Henderson. Aye. It's just crazy things, wasn't it? Crazy things.
Is that a wee bit before your time, 62, mate?
No. I remember even further back. I remember a guy who played when I was a wee kid. I used to go and see the Clyde because they were just up the road from me. And one of the smashing goalkeeper, a guy called Ken Hukins, and he got the sack for Clyde because he got stuck in traffic. It must have happened a couple of times to him. He jumped got off a train, Central Station, and tried to go in a tram car, a taxi, or whatever, but couldn't get through the traffic, couldn't get to Sheffield, so missed the game, So it wasn't as uncommon as you would think. But can I talk about the big three coming in, or were you going on to Alan 63?
No, on you go, mate.
I'll make it very quick.
We've only got a minute left.
It's the best thing that happened to Rangers was Mr. King and company getting in. I felt for them. Everybody that I know and I spoke to about it, I've felt for them. They're heartbroken. Every drawer they pulled out, and every cupboard they opened, there was all sorts of shit falling into it. And our infrastructure was completely destroyed. The word I hear is completely destroyed. So Dave King and the board, Gilligan in particular, managed to pull the fans together and keep the things going and get some cash in there to try and rebuild the infrastructure. And I think still, even now, it's not complete because there's still quite a bit of work to be done on the stadium. But that's all happening. And thanks, Mr. King. I know you're the most popular person in the whole world, but my goodness gracious, from the Bridgeman, thank you. My team and my club are getting themselves back together again.
Well said, Bridge. Look, can I just thank you all? Very emotive subject, but I think it was the right thing to do because I don't think we'd be remiss as somebody who will look at Rangers history that we can't avoid the events on this day. So, big Ulster shout out
Yeah, just to shout everybody's been listening in, and all these boys in the lobby. We've all obviously talked about moments that happened a few years back that hurt us, but as I say, when we get 55, it'll be amazing, boys, and it is going to happen. So, good night, everybody.
Cheers, big man. Gary?
I just big shout out to all the fans who have stuck by us over the last few years. And something that's not been mentioned is also the players that stuck with us through the hard times as well. So, big shout out to them also.
Alan 63.
Very mega quickly. I'm not interested in the guys that are taking easy money, much as we did pay them. I'd love to say thanks very much to this board and welcome to our new guys come the summer and our new manager. But until then, Mr. Murray, keep gelling them, keep getting them winning.
Do you hear? Rudy Bear?
Aye, tonight's show was a bit sort of bitter and a bit sweet as well, wasn't it? You know, memories, man. Aye, yeah. I would just like to say to the board, I think they've done a great job. So a big shout out to the board and to the Rangers support. We went through a lot. See when that 55th arrives, I'm going to celebrate it for a week. So.
To hear. George?
Aye. Brilliant show tonight. You can't not speak about it on this day. Also, it's one of the things you've just got to go on about at the end of the day. But we all came where we came from. We came where we were heading. So, good show.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Fox?
CC just reminded me there, mate, that we were sitting in Argyle House, myself, CC, Broxy. Don't know if you were there, Bridgeman, or no.
I was with you. I was indeed.
When we watched the Lambias and that getting chased out of Ibrox.
That's right,
so
absolutely.
We've seen it happening on the actual event, mate. Anyway, thanks for listening to everybody, and a big thanks to everybody that took part in the lobby.
Bridgeman?
Oh, what can I say? I'd love to echo everybody's shout-outs, and it's been quite an evening, may I say, from my perspective anyway. I'm glad we were able to have this discussion. There's still certain things stuck in my craw, but obviously that'll be for another day. I'm so happy that we've got over this. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, I'm living for the day for 55. Please make it happen. Come on, Rangers. Everybody, make it happen.
Here, Bridge.
Can I thank everybody for joining us tonight? Alan 63, The Bridge, Fox, Gary, George Logan, Rudy Bear and Ur Ulster. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11. But just remember this, never forgive and never forget. Take it away, Fox.
Don't know if you can see just what the Rangers really mean to me. These last few years I've been afraid that we might drift away. So I've been telling old stories and singing songs, made me think about where we come from. That's the reason why I feel so very proud today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. I wish stayed close to me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. We won 9 in a row, and I'm still dreaming of Brian Laundrie Trevor, Stephen, Marvin, Andrew, Seth, keep believing, Davy Cooper on the wing. We remember Gaza with great affection, the day the helicopter changed direction. Jimmy Baxter, he was pure perfection. Super Ali scores again. Well, let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium's cozy, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me old and sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more